see so many of you here, and I hope, really looking forward to an exciting day where we're both going to share all our learnings, but also look forward to the future. And I know this is the first time that all of you have been together, so I'm hoping as well that you're able to use this opportunity to get to know each other, learn about what other people are doing, and really celebrate the fantastic work that's been going on.
A year ago just now, we started the journey of My Home Life, and it's been a very enlightening journey. Personally, I think the changes that I've noticed most is that I don't fix everyone's problems anymore, and that's definitely what I used to do as manager and what everybody expected me to do. So there's been a complete culture change within the home from that perspective, and we now fix things together, which has made it a much more inclusive, happy place for people to work and live and visit.
And since I started on my journey, I'll explain myself as a hard-boiled egg when I started off on the journey, and every month this wee bit of hard-boiled egg started to ooze out, and within 10 months my home that used to be a home to die in has become a home where people come to live, to die. It's changed us, hasn't it?
Very much so.
That's great.
From a car point of view, obviously we use these regularly. In various methods, various situations, we use Envision cards. In the beginning, I would have probably have picked that card to symbolise me as a manager, because I was constantly juggling everything all at one time, trying to catch all the balls, and quite often didn't. And now it kind of looks more like that, I suppose, where we do things together, and we don't always get it right. However, it's definitely together.
And what we do is we hold one another's hand along the way. And what we have done through the 10 months, we've gained great friendships over the 10 months and a great network. Don't have any hesitation, sign up immediately. It'll be the most life-changing opportunity that you'll have in your career.
I think it's correct that people will be unsure and maybe even apprehensive in the beginning, because it's very difficult to quantify My Home Life. You can't really put it into a sentence.
Into a box.
It doesn't fit in any box and shouldn't. However, it will be, as Ray says, it will be life-changing. Will really open up a lot of doors for you, and definitely go for it. You'll never look back.
I've been trying to change the culture from task-orientated care to person-centred care. My Home Life has given me the skills and knowledge to enable me to work with the staff and change the culture within the care home. An example of that would be in the mornings when the manager comes to the door, the staff all disperse and go away and do the tasks, make the beds, do the laundry, make the cups of tea. And with working with the staff, we've came to an agreed way of working that the first hour of the day we spend interacting with the residents, going round each individual, maybe doing an activity or just checking how they are and how their morning has went.
It's helped me be more brave, more courageous in my work, and being able to speak up for people.
And I used to be maybe a control freak, maybe trying to fix everything. I mean, everybody used to come to me and say, "Don't worry, I'll do it for you, this is the way to do it." And now what I do is I tend to sit back and ask them, how do they want the problem solved? So by allowing people to look at the problem and to try and solve it themselves, I'm getting more, so staff is feeling more valued and having more positive impact.
I've learned in My Home Life just to press the pause button and to take some time out and to listen to people in a way that I think I probably didn't before. We do a thing called like checking in, check along and check out for the staff, and that is that at the start of their day they feel relaxed coming to work, they kind of know where they are and where they're going, and they can stop during the day themselves and press the pause button and say, okay, where are we now and where do we need to go? And at the end of the day, giving just some feedback to each other about how the day's been, and to be able to say, now we can check out, we can go home and we can leave this part of our lives behind and we can have our own personal life at the other side of it.
And the biggest thing it's done for me personally has been to give me peer support. I didn't really have anyone to talk to other than on a peer level, other than going to providers meetings where it's much more of a business meeting. I think the biggest change I've done is to have a different kind of meeting. Still have individual meetings with staff and residents and relatives, but I now also have a quarterly community meeting where everyone in the home is invited to attend, and we'll use the emotional touch points. So we'll choose a theme as a group to talk about. I think the last time it was the daily routine, what we do during the day. And we use the image cards, and I ask people, or the words, and I ask people to choose a card to describe how they feel about that topic, and then they, in turn, will all describe how they feel, what's working well and what could improve better. And it's just a real bonding experience. In fact, one of our relatives used those words. He chose a card with an adult taking a child's hand, and he said, "This is a bonding experience, this is what we're doing right now, this is the way it should be."
Jim and I worked together, and it was kind of very interesting because we thought we'll try some of these approaches, and we thought we'll try it, but we were a bit dubious as to how it would work, and there was just one point where we had a staff meeting where Jim and I just looked at each other and thought, my God, really powerful. We can now see it working, and my God, it's working. And we came out of that meeting feeling really, really enthused. I've worked in that care home for 11 years, and I'd never felt a more, positive feeling from staff. And staff actually approaching you after a staff meeting to say, that was really different. We get feedback from one member of staff that, it felt like their meeting as opposed to us as a management team and going to deliver information, and there was never really an exchange. But some of the stuff that came from the cards from staff still sticks in my head, and staff still talk about it. And it means that we've then been able to take it that one bit further, and we've talked to staff about appreciative inquiry, and we've introduced it in a jokey way so that the staff can get used to it, and now we want to progress that further. And although we use these approaches with families, the next step for us is to get our senior staff and our support staff involved with that, so that it's the culture is really then embedded in the home, and it's not just coming from Jim and I as a management team.
Yeah, your care home will improve through this course. It will improve. Your whole approach will improve as well. And
I thought that my management styles weren't that bad. I had to look at how I was as a manager, and how I communicated to people and what I felt. And previously, it's very difficult to do a lot of self-analysis. I really struggle with that, to really look at myself and how I speak to people. But it really does force you to look in the mirror as to how you do deal with people, and hopefully it's made me a more effective manager.
I suppose I would like to just share one of the areas where I helped to create a positive culture in the home, and it was in relation to staff attendance. And I felt that rather than disciplining staff all the time, which you have to do, I would also try and recognise the staff who do turn up for work, and make it a positive experience for those people, and let them see that I appreciate what they were doing. So I did this by something very simple, just at the end of every 3 months, checking back the staff attendance records and sending a letter to all the staff who had full attendance in the previous 3 months to say thank you very much for your full attendance, as well as bringing in the people who didn't have full attendance. The upshot of that was that the staff who got the letters were actually really chuffed that I remembered that they were also in the care home and that they were turning up for work every day. It was only a letter, but they were quite proud of the letters. It's also given, I think, the people that didn't have great attendance maybe something to strive for, so they can be one of the people saying, I got a letter to say I've had full attendance in the past 3 months.
I think currently when I started the programme I was a bit like juggling balls, and I was trying to do everything, and I was trying to fix everything on my own, and I thought this would be a good opportunity, not for me to fix things or make decisions, but to get the staff to come up with answers. The head of department's meeting, it ran over 2 hours. I sat back, I let staff pick the pictures to say, okay, where are we, where is your teams? I gave them the things that we needed to fix, and they come up with ideas and fed it back to me. And it's been marvellous, and I've had really positive feedback from staff. And now we're all cogs working together, and it has been really, really positive in the home. Morales went up, staff feel engaged, they feel involved, and that's just in a short period of time.
What is working well for me is the staff are much more relaxed when the care inspector are in, because we're having the courageous conversations that I've been talking to them about, and it has made a difference. They're coming in and they're actually speaking with the care inspector.
And I think by coming to the My Home Life training, meeting other managers for that network of support has been really, really great for myself, because actually I'm not alone as a manager. I'm facing all the difficulties that all other care managers face, and I think it's good to be able to talk to the other managers about situations, and nobody's going to judge you and you're not frightened to speak out. And what was said is, once the My Home Life training has finished, we are definitely going to keep in touch as a group, because we really need that network of support. I think that's really important to us all.
What I have felt though is I'm maybe more tolerant, appreciative inquiry. It's just, it's nice to be able to look at things differently and listen to staff, residents, relatives a bit differently, and not always be on the defensive about things.
The cards we use frequently with the residents who have difficulty with communication, and they can express themselves through pictures, whereby we can gather vital information. With the staff, we use the cards for team building, which is excellent, whereby we again gather a lot of information.
We were the first cohort of My Home Life in Lanarkshire. We first went to the first day, and I think everybody was just wondering what it was all going to be about. But after the first day, everybody was chatting with one another, and I think we all felt that we had people that were there for us. If we needed help, we weren't alone, we could ask for help, and that was a big thing for me, because I tended to try and do everything myself. Now this card shows that I've got friends, and I can contact those friends whenever I want. They'll help me with any kind of problems that I might have, and we all felt that each other had the same sort of problems that we had to solve.
And it's been 4 days was a challenge to us, and I actually was wondering myself, what am I going to get from this? What's actually this going to? How's this going to help me? Because as a manager, we think we've got all the answers. Where really it's told me I really haven't got all the answers.
I picked this postcard because I feel like I've had a mountain to climb, but I am that person at the top and feel very free. I've been very inspired by the course, and one thing I've learned about it, and the freedom that I feel, is about sharing emotions, allowing others to share theirs and myself sharing mine, especially when dealing with challenging situations, and talking to relatives and residents that need help, and building up a supportive community. So I'm hoping that all the staff are beginning to feel like that now, and will carry on being inspired by the course.
It has totally transformed the way I work, how I approach people, how I treat people, and it's just such a wonderful ongoing process.
Mm-hmm. I think it's equipped me with a far better way of communicating. Whereas before, kind of challenging situations I might have done my very best to avoid if I possibly could, or shouted for my manager. I think it makes things much easier.
Yes.
I think with regards to kind of like staff issues, like what they were saying about Denise, and I think it's kind of like if something isn't going the way it should be, you'll be straight in there saying, right, that's it, don't do that, or cut that out. Whereas now it's more kind of investigating or inquiring, and engaging people to sort of look to see for themselves, what happened, why didn't that work well, what can I do next time, how can I do it better next time.
We've now finished our year and we're now doing a digital story, but it won't end there. It's not like other study days you've been, that's it, it's going to continue on, and we'll keep using the ethos of My Home Life. I think it's like building getting rid of barriers between all the care homes within Kilmarnock, because before you wouldn't have dreamt of going to somebody else's care home because a bit of, are they spying on us? But now we've built up the relationship that we have.
We are competitors, aren't we, at the end of the day? But, you know, we still have managed, for the benefit of our residents, to work very closely together and to share positive ideas. And that's come from My Home Life, without a doubt, hasn't it?
Definitely.
That's very positive.